Hello, everyone. My name is Kamilian, and in this series, I share unpopular opinions of mine on movies, games, and TV shows. So, with that, in my opinion, I believe that Andrew Garfield has always been the best live action Spider Man. Now, I'm not trying to tell you this as a fact, nor am I trying to change your mind. All I ask is that you hear me out. Intelligence. Garfield's The Amazing Spider Man franchise really took the time to establish Peter's extreme intelligence and justified his love for science. This Peter's solid backstory perfectly explains the events that led him to getting bitten and thriving as Spider Man. For example, Garfield developed his own web shooters. Some may say this point is moot, considering Holland's Spider-Man also has web shooting technology, but these weren't made by him. Instead, it's Tony Stark's technology that Holland is simply using. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man has a whole great scene where he creates his own web shooters and costume. I've always loved how Garfield's Spider-Man seemed to be the most into science, which is a key component to his character. The other two Spider-Men definitely have that aspect in their films, but the Garfield version nails it the best. Garfield even uses his intelligence to defeat his enemies. Maguire's Spider-Man got lucky with his villains when Green Goblin impaled himself on his own glider, and Doc Ock drowned not only himself but his machine when Maguire had no idea how to stop it from destroying the city. In Holland's case, he's always outsmarted. Taking Mysterio as an example, he ended up revealing Holland's identity to the entire world. With that being said, when it comes to brains, Garfield's Spider-Man is number one. The best swings. The fact that the swings were a significant improvement over the Tobey Maguire trilogy has been a key feature of the Amazing Spider-Man series. Garfield makes the most of his Spider-Man powers, whereas Maguire's swinging seemed rubbery, and Holland's swings were scarcely shown in this movie at all. Garfield's Spider-Man swings are often displayed in a POV perspective, allowing the spectator to see what Spider-Man sees. Not to add that the CGI is far superior to that of the prior Spider-Man films, allowing for much more fluent movement. Gwen Stacy. Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone undeniably have unrivaled chemistry as Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy. When the first Amazing Spider-Man film was released, it was hard for anyone to find any complaints regarding their on-screen relationship. Sure, Andrew's Peter had been described as too cool. And yes, I partially agree with this, as I don't think that Peter should have been able to ride a skateboard prior to being bitten, but that's another point. Because ultimately, it seems that Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy found him just cool enough, as she fell for him before she even knew he was Spider-Man. Alternatively, Kirsten Dunst's Mary Jane actively avoided a relationship with Peter Parker until she discovered his secret identity. And even Zendaya's MJ found it to be one of the most alluring parts of her attraction to Tom's Peter. But in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Gwen states that she loves that he is Spider-Man, but she loves Peter Parker more. While many audiences did not resonate with the second Amazing Spider-Man film, they were still left affected by Gwen Stacy's death. This is in thanks in large part to the amazing talents of both Andrew and Emma in bringing this breathtaking relationship to life on the screen. It's entirely possible that their off-screen romance had a lot to do with the way their chemistry appeared in the final product, but no one can argue that her death scene left a greater impact on Andrew's Peter than possibly any other loss has affected either of the others. Garfield even saying in No Way Home that after he lost Gwen, he became angrier. He stopped pulling his punches. He essentially lost his moral compass when he lost her. Best comedic timing. While Tom Holland makes plenty of quips in his version of Spider-Man, Garfield began that witty banter, and he did it flawlessly. Tobey Maguire cracked a few jokes here and there, but it really felt forced and bizarre. Garfield's timing is so much better, and he is able to come across as the wisecracking jokester that Spider-Man is, instead of a cringy hero with moderate banter. Holland fumbles with this too, as he is often seen as annoying and childish compared to the other iterations, and plays second fiddle to Iron Man or any other Avenger for that matter with more experience than him. For me, Holland's Spider-Man is just too childish and innocent, focusing heavily on high school drama. Meanwhile, Maguire is simply too quiet once that Spider-Man mask goes on. Don't get me wrong, Maguire is an amazing Peter Parker. He nails the nerdy side of the character. But the comedy and the much needed banter, they're just not always there. No Way Home. This is a bit of a tough one, as there were so many groundbreaking and amazing performances present in Spider-Man No Way Home. Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire being no strangers to this feat, but something about seeing Andrew Garfield on the big screen as Peter Parker again felt so natural, and he stepped back into the role as if he never left it. Not only was he the source of most of the humorous moments between the three Peters, whether it be him complaining about wanting to fight an alien, or saying he loves his new brothers, only for them to say thank you. There was no doubt that Garfield had a lot of fun stepping back into the Spider-Man suit, despite the amount of hate he received from the fanbase during his amazing time as the hero. But it's not all about humor. No Way Home is chock full of emotional moments. Aunt May's death, Tom's Peter re-entering a world that doesn't know him. But fans of the Amazing Spider-Man franchise would most likely unanimously agree that one of the standout moments of the film is when Andrew's Peter saves MJ from falling to her death, directly mirroring his failure to save Gwen in a similar manner. Garfield's acting in this scene alone is enough to bring fans to tears. Even more so when you find out that scene was the moment that quote-unquote sold him on the whole thing. Ultimately, it goes without saying that Garfield is the most confident and charismatic of the three Spider-Man actors. He managed to exude a sense of comfort in his character that the other two could not pull off. Garfield has a way to carry himself that seems genuine and confident. Ultimately, the best part about this entire thing, about Andrew Garfield Spider-Man having always been the best live-action Spider-Man, is that it's just my opinion. And at the end of the day, that's all it is. Just my opinion. It's not fact. Regardless of whether your opinion aligns with mine or vastly differs, I would honestly love to hear about it down in the comments below. I've also got links to my Twitch and Discord in the description. If you did like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I've also got a playlist of many other videos of filled with unpopular opinions of mine ready to go right here on YouTube. So, firstly, thank you for clicking on the video in the first place, but more importantly, I'll hopefully see you again soon. But ultimately, thank you for hearing me out.